Unrivaled is about to unravel. I would be very surprised that numbers for year 2 are comparable to numbers from year 1. They have less star power. WNBA fatigue is at an all-time high. There's no Caitlin Clark. There was pretty much no Caitlin Clark sophomore year in the WNBA.
Now, did you notice what happened there? Because this makes no sense at all. No one is talking about what this means for the future of the WNBA, even though Unrivaled just lost its most powerful tool. Now, here's the thing. It's more than just a scheduling issue when 5 of the biggest names in women's basketball say they don't want to play in your league. That message was sent at the same time. By the end of the movie, you'll understand why this could be the smartest move these people have ever made in terms of power, or why it could be the biggest mistake that gave the owners all of their power back. Let me tell you what really goes on behind closed doors. That's why this isn't just a few guys sitting out the season.
Casuals might know from 2019, 2020 in Sabrina Ionescu from last year isn't there this year. You have WNBA champion A'ja Wilson, she's not there. You have Sophie Cunningham, who has made a mark in the minds of fans across the country. She won't be participating in this.
Take a look at what he's written. There are no longer 5 big names. But here's something that most people miss. It's not time to rest. It's not about keeping people from getting hurt. Think about when to do it. The CBA talks are currently going on. The Association of Players needs power. They need to show the owners of the WNBA that they can go elsewhere and are not dependent on the league. They also need to show the owners what their biggest threat is. A rival league that can compete, one that pays better, treats players better, and doesn't need the WNBA's system to work. That's the deadly choice. That is the card you play when you want owners to pay attention to you when you're negotiating. That method does have one big flaw though.
It takes a lot of leverage out of Unrivaled's hand when it comes to negotiating for the new CBA. By Unrivaled's hand, I mean out of the Players Association's hand. If Unrivaled actually was able to draw top players, draw the top billers, bring a decent rating night in and night out to their games, have good engagement, sell merch, so on and so forth, money talks bullshit.
That's the point where things break. Pay attention to what he just said. It's true that money talks and BS walks. What power does the players group have if Unrivaled can't get stars, ratings, or the most important players who no one else wants to play? Take a moment to think about this from the owner's point of view. The head of the Players Association is sitting across from you at the table. They want better working conditions, more money, charter planes, and everything else. Give us what we want or we'll just go play in Unrivaled instead, is what they're saying. But here's the catch. You know that Caitlin Clark isn't going to be there. You already know that Angel Reese didn't play. A'ja Wilson isn't interested in this, you know that. What makes you, as an owner, think this is a threat? You wouldn't. You'd laugh and tell them they were lying.
If they're not playing in Unrivaled, then the owners still have no reason to fear Unrivaled. I'd argue that players sitting out from Unrivaled helps out the WNBA far more than it helps out Unrivaled. Imagine being Unrivaled, Nafisa Collier, Breanna Stewart. Imagine being part of the Players Association, the president, Nneka Ogwumike, and going to negotiations, going to the table saying, look, we have all the top superstars in our league still.
Did you hear the names he just said? Cameron Brink, Dana Evans, and Derek Hami. Don't get me wrong, these guys are good, but they won't change the game. A lot of people don't watch to see these stars. And that's the hard truth that's about to weaken unmatched power in negotiations. Because this is what is really going on. The players group is very divided, and no one wants to talk about it in public. There is one group, made up of Nafisa Collars and Breanna Stewarts, who are truly committed and unmatched in terms of money. They have a stake in this game. Their money was on the line, so they had to do well. The Caitlin Clarks are the next group. The A'ja Wilsons ask, why am I helping you build your business empire while potentially destroying the league? Because the Players Association is split. It was in my dream that I played it.
Which goes with the theme, no hand out. We're not giving you our name, image, and likeness, for lack of a better term, so you can use our handouts to bargain, to go against the league that we've dreamed to play for. We're not giving you the ammo that you need to go potentially shut down the WNBA, to potentially go and argue and use Unrivaled as your own bargaining chip in a selfish manner, because that's what they're doing, hence conflict of interest.
Okay, take a break. That's because what he just said is the psychology behind the whole problem. There's nothing to take home. Think about what that really means. Caitlin Clark has spent the past year seeing other people use her name to create businesses, clubs, and platforms. Angel Reese became well known in Unrivaled's first season, mostly because of the storyline about her feud with Caitlin Clark. The league did better generally because of the Clark effect. They now want to use their fame as a trading chip against the WNBA, which is the league where they want to play for a long time. This is where the conflict of interest is clear. It's not just that Infi Zakir and Brianna Stewart are members of the Players Association. They run a business and are trying to compete with the WNBA while also talking on behalf of WNBA players. The biggest stars have only recently learned that they can't please everyone.
It's a clear conflict of interest. A'ja Wilson, she's not letting that happen. Both years, she's not letting that happen. Caitlin Clark, not letting that happen. They've had enough time using Caitlin Clark's juice, using Caitlin Clark's clout to demand and ask. Angel Reese, it's not happening this year. Sophie Cut, no. Sabrina, no, not happening this year.
Both years. Did you hear that? A'ja Wilson didn't play either year. This is not a one-time thing. There is a pattern here. This is a sentence. It gets even more interesting after this. These people who play why Caitlin Clark said no handouts are not stupid. They know how to use advantage. They understand how to negotiate. Because of this, they shouldn't give up the one card that could force the WNBA to pay them more, unless they don't see it as power at all. As long as they don't see Unrivaled as a trap. Think about it from their point of view. What will happen if Unrivaled does well and becomes a real threat in the WNBA? In the best case, the WNBA needs to fight for players and pay them more. In the worst event, the WNBA would say, okay, you want to play rough. We'll kick you out. Take a look at your new league and play some games. Now you have two leagues that are having trouble instead of one that is getting better.
Well, with all of the shady business that's now coming out around the NBA, who's to say that Adam Silver didn't talk to some of these players behind the closed doors and say, here's a few $100,000, don't play in this shit. We don't need to give them any more leverage. Here's a few $100,000, we'll take care of it, don't worry about it, you don't need this. We can't have your stardom being lent out to all these different places, Unrivaled being one of them, Athletes Unlimited being one of them. We can't have that. You'll play in the WNBA, you'll do the USA basketball stuff.
And this is where things get really crazy. Check it out. Some people think that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver may have paid some of these players to not play in games. Just gave him checks and told him, here's a few hundred. The idea behind Adam Silver is great. Do not give them anything they can use against us in talks. Before you say it sounds like a plot, think about what else has been going on in the NBA lately. The NBA didn't look into Luka Doncic and Terry Rozier's gaming problems, but the FBI did and caught both of them. What people say about Kawhi Leonard's payment plan. Recently, the NBA has been caught with its hands in a lot of different things. It's not that crazy to think that Adam Silver might make a few specific payments to keep the WNBA's negotiating power. Because the NBA cares about the WNBA, they pay for it. They agree with it. A player-run new league can't tell them how to do well. They need to be able to do well on their own terms.
Allegedly, possibly, push the Mavericks in a direction to get rid of Luka Doncic to a main attraction organization like the Los Angeles Lakers, and then just by chance they land on the #1 pick in Cooper Flagg. This is the commissioner of a league who got reports of Terry Rozier and analyzed the reports and did their own investigation, only to say, oh yeah, nothing's wrong here, but Terry, you're gonna have to sit the rest of this current season. Only for the FBI to swoop in and say, have you guys been falling asleep at the wheel? What kind of investigation did you guys do?
It's important to look at things from the point of view of a shady business because we're really talking about power here. Who is in charge of women's basketball? Is this the league? Does the team play? Is it the association of players? Is it a small group of enterprising people who want to build their own empires? And this is where the psychology really gets interesting. Players like Caitlin Clark and Ajay Wilson don't need rival because they already make a lot of money from sponsors and are safe on their teams as mainstays. You don't need extra cash badly. But if you're the players group and you want to get better terms for everyone, you do need to have some power. You need to scare the owners with something. That threat was meant to be shown by Unrivaled. The guys who would have made it dangerous, though, just said, "Nah, we're fine." How owners got all the power all of a sudden.
A big blow when it comes to the negotiations. Yeah, Unrivaled is gonna be bad anyway, right? It's gonna be bad. We know it's gonna be bad. But thinking a step further, well, this really sets them back when it comes to CBA negotiations.
And that's the breaking point. Unrivaled strategy for negotiating doesn't work anymore because of what just happened. When the Players Association talks to the CBA, they want to be tough. They're saying, agree to our terms or we'll find another solution. As for Unrivaled, the owners can just look at their squad and say, okay, go ahead. Pick one of the other choices. The 5 best players you have won't even be in that league. The stars you want to sell don't want anything to do with it. What do you mean by your threat? It was a fake that was just called in front of everyone. What's worse is this. This information isn't really a secret. It is possible for everyone to see who is in Unrivaled and who is not. People who own it don't have to get it. There is a lot of proof that the players are not on board with this alternative league plan.
Was supposed to be a league where only the best talent played, and Season 2 has been nothing but a bunch of subpar role players. This is like a G League. This is like a G League, Summer League type of field, type of environment. There's no star power, there's no pizzazz. There's nothing that makes you really perk up, stand up, get ready to go. And the problem that Unrivaled has...
Pay attention to what real WNBA fans have to say. These people don't hate. These are not people who want women's basketball to fail. These are loyal fans who are very angry that they were fooled into thinking that ability was all that mattered. Instead, they get something that looks like a G-game summer game. And the problem with how people see Unrivaled is a death sentence for its believability. When fans call your top league the G League and make fun of the player's skill level, you've lost the narrative fight. You can't get back on track after that. It's hard to convince people that you're a real threat when your own fans make fun of you online. But this is even more interesting because of this. The time when fans started to turn. It didn't happen right away. The first season of Unrivaled got a lot of attention because Angel Reese was in it and people were interested. But by the second season, it's no longer new or exciting, and the stars aren't as flashy. People can see it for what it really is. A well-funded test that the best players don't want to take part in.
Now, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I appreciate the support. No handouts, says Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Sophie Cunningham, Sabrina Ionescu. You will not use us as pawns in your negotiations with the league. What do you think about that?
Interview 12. Let's join all the pieces together now, as this is where the whole picture becomes clear. You have a group of players who need power. There are players who own an alternative league and depend on it to make money. Some people won't take part because they think there is a conflict of interest. There are now owners who can show that the danger is not real. In the middle of all this chaos, there are fans who are unhappy with the product and a CBA discussion going on. How much does that add up to? The Players Association's plan for negotiating has failed totally. This is the ugly truth. People who own the business will see this and know that they have all the power. They might give gamers less than what they want. The stars may hold off on talks because they know that the other league isn't a choice for them. This is because players depend on the WNBA more than any one player. It was shown to the public in the most public way possible, so they can call the Players Association's game on almost anything.
No handouts, says Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Sophie Cunningham, Sabrina Ionescu, you will not use us as pawns in your negotiations with the league. What do you think about that?
There's nothing to take home. That word will describe the whole era of how the WNBA works with its workers. Because Caitlin Clark, Ajay Wilson, and the other celebrities are really telling people that you can't use our names, brands, or the power of being famous as tools in a war that we didn't agree to. And it's a very good point of view. Think about it from their point of view. You spend years building your business, going to college and becoming well-known. Then some players you don't know very well decide to make a rival league, hoping that you will hurt your chances of making it to the WNBA. You should not put your relationship with the league you want to play in at risk just to give them an edge in negotiations that helps their business. That's not being united. To do that is to abuse. The best players just drew a line in the sand. What will happen next is the question now. Is there any more power the players group can use? Can they come to a good CBA without the unmatched threat, or did they just lose their one card? If the owners find out they have all the power, what do you think will happen? Let's hear your thoughts below, because this CBA talk is about to get nasty.